All right, okie dokie, welcome back. This is the AM Club right here on MX24. Let's switch away from movies and let's get into some sports. Joining me right here is my very good friend, my colleague, Mr. Ayim. And it's about time we get straight into AFTV. The whole crew is right here in Ghana, and we just want to find out why exactly are they here. So we've got Mr. Robbie and we've got Doctor. I don't know whether he's doctor in sports or doctor in football. We'll get into that. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
How you doing?
Yeah, no, very good, very good. My first time in Ghana.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And been really enjoying it so far. You know, the people have been great. Everything that we've seen, we went to the Cape Coast. That was so emotional. Yesterday, went to see the Ashanti King.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, no, so it's been awesome.
Wow.
Awesome being here so far, and
Wow.
I'm really looking forward to meeting all the Arsenal fans at the watch party. You know, so
Okay.
you know, it's fantastic.
We'll get into that, but what is AFTV?
AFTV is a football fan channel that follows Arsenal. We've been running since 2012. And I guess, you know, you could say we're the biggest football fan channel in the world. You know, we've, across all of our platforms, we've probably got over 5 million followers. And basically, the whole aim of our platform is to give ordinary football fans, no matter who you are, whatever your race, wherever you're from, whatever your status is, a chance to have your say on the football club that you love, which is Arsenal. So that's what we do. We give fans a chance to interact and talk about the club. And obviously Arsenal are a huge global club, one of the biggest clubs in the world. So part of our mission at the moment is to really spread it, go around the world and speak to fans, which we do. You know, we've probably been to everywhere. You know, there's not many places we haven't been to, but now we've really been focusing recently a lot on coming to Africa.
Okay.
Because the football fans in Africa are so passionate. So, you know, meet so many of them in London. So it's just been great to be over here to do this, you know? So it's been fantastic.
Fantastic.
But Robbie, what actually motivated you to stop working with the BBC and take full responsibility with the AFTV?
Yeah, I guess since I was a kid, I've been a bit of an entrepreneur, if I've got that entrepreneurial spirit. And then I'm also mad passionate about football and passionate about Arsenal. I just wanted to start my own platform. So, you know, I saw like YouTube as an opportunity where you could start your own thing relatively cheaply, because I don't, you know, when I set it up, I didn't really have a lot of money, right? Excuse me. So yeah, that's what motivated me to get started, and it's just been a journey since then. It started in 2012, and it's just been a journey that's, you know, it's taken me here. So it's a good journey.
Yeah. But then how difficult, how easy has it been to have all these guys, working with you?
Yeah, listen, these guys are a pleasure to work with. So on their aspect, it's not hard. We have a lot of fun with it. So that's great. But listen, you've had you get a lot of challenges along the way, especially in the UK when we first came around in particular. You know, I guess we were, breaking down a lot of barriers. We did football and sport in a very different way to which it was traditionally done. You know, so we were real disruptors in the industry. And, you know, when you're disruptors in a traditional industry, especially in the UK, you start to get criticised a lot. You know, people don't like how you're doing things, but you have to weather that, because anytime you're doing something new and it's innovative, you're going to get that. And so, yeah, we've had a lot of criticism over the years and that. But what makes me laugh sometimes now is I see a lot of the same platforms that used to criticize us, copying us, doing all the same things that we do now. So, you know, so you just got to, you've just got to got a strong belief in what you're doing, which I do, and have a great team, which I've got a great team, and and you know, we've got 3-4 studios back in London. You know, there's over 25 people working now for us, because it's not just AFTV. We've got another platform called DR Sports, which is all football, which is all the teams in the Premier League. So, you know, so we have influencers from, you know, Man United, Chelsea, all these different teams as well. So, but I enjoy it. And I mean, if you can, you know, make a living out of talking about football all day, and
Particularly
meeting
your
football
team.
fans, particularly my team.
Yeah.
Yeah, what have I got to complain about? It's fun. It's brilliant.
All right. But I will come back very shortly on you. But, Doc, I mean, tell us more. I mean, how did you meet Robbie in the first place? And how's the relationship been like?
So it's been an amazing relationship, I would say. The connection happened in SoccerX in Miami. So our sports agency got invited, as well as Robbie did. And then co-founder of AG Sports Management, Mr. Amoa, was the one that was employed to go there and represent the company. And then that's where he met Robbie. Obviously spoke to Robbie about our vision and, our aim as a sports management company and the work that we want to do in Africa, in terms of, sports development. And so the conversation, went on. Obviously, Robbie does, the fans, Arsenal Fan TV stuff. He was very, enthused about what we were talking about and wanted to come to Africa and Ghana. And I am originally from Ghana. I was born here, moved to the UK along the years. And my other partner that I work with, Joseph, as well, is Ghanaian. He was born in the UK, but he's Ghanaian as well. So we thought, why not, facilitate, this and bring Robbie to Ghana so he can have a fantastic experience.
Where was an Arsenal fan?
So I'm a Chelsea fan, but I do I do watch Robbie quite a lot. As you mentioned, he does the DL Sports, bits as well, which is all sports. So I enjoyed that as well, and it's really fun. And what Robbie does in London is amazing. Even if you're not an Arsenal fan, it's really amazing. So I would say that although if Chelsea and Arsenal are playing, we are rivals. I think outside of that, we can still work together and and push
The tour was nearly off when I found out you like Chelsea.
Derek, are you trying to switch teams now? Do you want to switch?
No.
What's your team?
I'll switch teams.
What's your
right
team?
now. Barcelona.
Barcelona. Okay.
Yeah, so you can see right behind me that there's an event coming on Sunday. We call it the Ghanaian Derby, the Thomas Partey and Mohamed Kudus Derby happening on Sunday. Then in between, there's Man United, Aston Villa. Then, of course, the final of the African Cup of Nations, 11th of February 2024. Nigeria v Ivory Coast, who is going to win it? Is Nigeria going to win it for the fourth time in their history? Or it's going to be the Ivory Coast also winning for the third time in their history. But then let's talk more about Arsenal. Robbie, we saw Arsenal camp close last season, and this game last season was one of, the crucial games that Arsenal should have gone beyond it to, ensure their title credentials.
Yeah,
but then they got, they just had 1 point after their previous game against Liverpool. They stumbled and fell against, West Ham United, a 2-2 draw, and that, took their foot off the pedal in terms of the title race.
I think last year, this game against West Ham was where we lost the title. I remember
not the Liverpool one.
So the two games together, but going away to Anfield, you get a point. It's not a bad result. That's a good result, really, right? But when we went away to West Ham, when you consider we were 2-0 up, I remember we was at the game, me and Cecil was in the room as well, and we were 2-0 up. And when I say we were cruising, it was like easy. And then we let them back into the game. Even at 2-1, we got a penalty. We missed the penalty. We would have went 3-1 up. Saka missed the penalty. And then they came back 2-2. And we dropped now in 2 games. We dropped those points. And all of a sudden, Man City were back right next to us. And, so I remember it so clearly. And it's really funny that the way in which this season's going, because we played Liverpool last week, just like the same. Yeah. But the difference was now we beat Liverpool and we beat them very well. It was a dominant performance by Arsenal, beating them 3-1, they're top of the table, and now we're back up against them, 2 points behind them. And now we go to West Ham this week, which is not going to be easy because they've beaten us twice this season. Yeah. But if we beat West Ham, it's a complete difference to last season in that we're starting to build momentum rather than last year where we lost momentum over those 2 games. So it's a huge game for Arsenal. And as I said, it won't be easy because anybody from London knows, both of them are London teams. The stadium will be packed. There's a lot of rivalry between the 2 sets of supporters. and West Ham will want to beat us. They'll want to stop us, you know. So, and like you said, you know, Mohamed Kudus, who you mentioned there, he's been a revelation. You know, I've been really impressed with him because to come into the Premier League and hit the ground running like what he's done and be performing to the level that he's doing has been very impressive. Not many players do that.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen a lot of players come in this season. Enzo Fernandez at Chelsea, massive price tag, hasn't delivered. Caicedo hasn't delivered, you know what I mean? Mudryk. And then there's a lot of other players in other teams as well that, you know, come in big. But Kudus has just come in and he's playing like he's been in the Premier League for years. So Arsenal going to have to stop him from playing because he's definitely one of their most important players. But they got a very good side, West Ham. Yeah. So this is a massive game. But I'm hoping that we take that momentum. I mean, if we beat Liverpool that only lost one game this season.
They've actually lost twice. When Arsenal beat them, they've lost twice in 34 games.
Yeah. And it was an incredible win because, as I said, the only game they'd lost previous to that this season was against Tottenham, and they kind of got ripped off a bit.
Yeah.
The refereeing decisions in that game were awful, right? They shouldn't really have lost that game.
That's very true.
But last week, we comprehensively beat them, you know what I mean? 3-1 flattered them. So we just got to carry that momentum through into this game. I know Ghana loves Mohamed Kudus, but he needs to have a...
They still love Partey, but...
He needs to have a day off.
I mean, the question is, Partey is still not fit enough to play in the game. That's
been a big blow.
Yeah.
He last season as well, like, I'd say Thomas Partey last season, when he was fit, probably our best player. He was so influential, you know what I mean, the way he controlled the midfield. He's such a great player, but he's just been so injured. Like, it's frustrating for the fans because we know how good he is and we want him to play. And then obviously it must be so frustrating for him as well because, you know, a couple of weeks ago we were told he was back and then he suffered a setback, which is, you know, so he must be so frustrated. He obviously missed AFCON as well. So, you know, I hope he can get better soon because if we can have him till the end of the season and he can, you know, and him and Declan Rice in that midfield, I think that's what we've been looking forward to all season. And we just haven't seen it.
All right, sure. But then let's talk about the watch party on Sunday.
Yes.
What are we to expect on Sunday?
So, you know, we've teamed it Ghana's biggest watch party. And I think that's what, you know, we essentially want to achieve. We want to give the fans, you know, an incredible experience. You know, we've got Robbie there, you know, and in terms of putting it together, you know, we've got our partners that we're working with. So we've got BTL Ghana, who have been, you know, really revelational, if you ask me, in terms of trying to put this together for us. We've also got Ketone Group, which is based in London as well, whose CEO happens to be here with us as well.
Okay, wow.
And he's also helped in terms of, you know, getting Robbie down here and putting all of this together. There'll be, you know, other sponsors that we're working with. There's going to be fun packed. There'll be activities for, you know, fans to engage in, prizes for them to win. Food, you know, drinks, all of that available. So, you know, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be an amazing experience. And there'll be 3 games that we're looking to do. So the first one will be the Arsenal West Ham. Then we've got Manchester Aston Villa, and then we'll cap it all off with the AFCON final, which, you know, obviously is between, you know, Nigeria and Ivory Coast. You know, if it was Ghana, it would have been amazing.
Is it free though?
Absolutely free.
free.
Free. So it's free. You don't need to pay anything. Just you know, register and then just come on board.
So how do I get to register?
There is a link that we are looking to, you know, get across. I think we've sent, you know, some across so far on social media. You just go on there, put your details on there. You know, what team you support, and, you know, we are hoping to get those numbers and the names and things to, you know, put together the event. So, you know, we're rolling things out there, and we hope that all the fans will come out there and, you know, be passionate as they've always been.
All right, but I mean, I'm not saying away, but since you're a Chelsea fan,
Yes.
I'd like you to tell me more about Chelsea. Now, what's happening with Chelsea?
I don't even know where to start. I think, obviously, it's been a very...
The money they wasted.
It's been a very underwhelming, I think, last 2 seasons, if you ask me. Obviously, Chelsea is known for winning. You know, that's in our DNA. You know, lots of trophies, but this season hasn't been the best. But I think, you know, from a fan's perspective, you also need to put into in consideration everything that's happened around the club in the last couple of years.
What's that, spending £1 billion?
No, I mean, there's been a new.
But do you believe in Pochettino, though? Do you believe in him?
I think I'm a bit on the fence with him. I mean, his track record is not that bad, if you ask me. I mean, he's done well. He did really well with Tottenham, with a young group of players as well. So I think perhaps that was something that played in the mind of the ownership, group when they were looking to appoint him. I mean, our last game with Aston Villa was really good. I didn't expect us to go out there and be dominant. So I think he has the capabilities to be able to, put the team where it needs to be. I think we probably need to give him more time, which unfortunately you might not really get at Chelsea. But I hope that we give him a bit more time to really allow him to do what he potentially can.
Robbie, since 2003, when Arsenal did the Invincibles, we haven't seen them come close to that until last season. I mean, going into the season, last season we saw that Arsenal started so well. At the latter part of the season, they had to fall. But this season, they didn't really start pretty well, but they are picking up gradually. Could this be Arsenal's moment?
You never know. I mean, the Premier League is so hard to win now. As you see, look, Chelsea just spent £1 billion and they're nowhere near it. So it's difficult. You've got Man City there, they're like a juggernaut, and they're also starting to build a bit of momentum. They've got Haaland back, they've got De Bruyne back. All their big guns are back now, right? So, and then you've got Liverpool, who are performing well, and Klopp's last season. So, in the UK, it's huge that it's Klopp's leaving, and they all want to do it for him, the Liverpool fans. So it's going to be difficult, but I think Arsenal have got a good chance, maybe it suits us a bit better to be sort of not in the lead right now.
Okay.
See if we can kind of come from behind. Last season, I thought the pressure got to us a bit. We was in front. A lot of people starting to talk us up all of a sudden, they're going to win it. And then we got a very young side, and then we started getting injuries to key players, and then City just came and they used their experience and they just got past us. So maybe that experience of losing out last year, and maybe just the fact that maybe a little bit of pressure's off, because most people, if you listen to most of the pundits in the UK, they still think it's between Manchester City and Liverpool, and we're the outsiders. So sometimes being the outsider, you can try to come in on the rails, and football's a funny game. I mean, you said that AFCON, I still can't believe that Ivory Coast have got to the final. I think they'll win it as well, because the way they've just been, just when you think they're dead, they just come back again, and So football's a funny game. So it might suit Arsenal not to be that team that's been top all season. Where then the pressure starts to build. Everyone's like, right, you're going to do it this year. Are you going to do it? And he's constantly getting asked that, Right. That's kind of what's happening to Liverpool at the moment. They're under a lot of pressure because now Klopp's leaving, so everybody's, Yeah,
I was even about to come to that, because City are looking to make history by winning it 4 consecutive times. Do you think that there's a lot more pressure on City to do that and Pep Guardiola to do that? And also, Klopp leaving Liverpool, I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the players that we need to win it for Klopp before he leaves.
I think there's more pressure on Liverpool. Because number one, they haven't, they've only in the era that Klopp's been there, he's won it once, which
9 years,
he's had
9 seasons.
and he's had a great side, but he's been unable to get past Man City. So I think there's more pressure on Liverpool. I think with Man City, I don't think that pressure's on them. They just done the treble last year. They just win all the time. So I think even if they missed out, it wouldn't be, the pressure's not gonna. And to be totally honest, Liverpool, Arsenal, they're bigger clubs than Manchester City. Manchester City might have won more things, but the support that those clubs have in the UK is way bigger than Man City. They're much bigger clubs. So there's more pressure on, I'd say, Liverpool and Arsenal.
Than Man City.
And actually, as I said, Arsenal is a little less pressure on us at the moment because we're third. But I'd say definitely be more pressure on Liverpool than on Man City, because Liverpool's a much bigger club.
Who do you see winning the Premier League title?
I think if I had to choose, I'll probably go Liverpool.
Okay.
I think it's because they have a great team. I think there is perhaps maybe an extra motivation for them because it is Klopp's last season there. So I think just with those two things make me think perhaps Liverpool, but Arsenal do have a chance, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because
Okay.
Robbie has given us a chance.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming through.
thank you.
Thank
very
you
much.
to the AFTV crew too as well for choosing Ghana
Yeah.
and coming on the
listen,
tour.
this has been wonderful.
Considering the whole country and coming on the tour too as well. We'll catch you at the Ghana's biggest watch party happening live this Sunday,
Sunday,
at
yeah.
Legon City Mall forecourt. So please come in your numbers. I mean, you don't necessarily need to be an Arsenal fan.
No.
You just have to come.
Yeah.
All right? Yes, Derek is going to be there. Myself, we're going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's have a wonderful time. 3-in-1 matches. What do you want again?
Yeah.
Come through. What are you looking out for? But gentlemen, thank you so much.
No,
Robbie,
it's
thank
an
you.
absolute
Doc,
pleasure.
thank you
Thank you.
too.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank you.
we'll look forward to Sunday as well. Derek, we're wrapping it up right here on the show.
So it promises to be a fabulous watch out party on Sunday. Do come in your numbers, as JKD Riley said. It's not just for Arsenal fans; it's for everyone. If you're a Premier League fan, even if you're a La Liga fan, you need to be there to watch it, because we'll climax it with the AFCON final between Nigeria and Ivory Coast. So we'll see you there on Sunday.
Thank you very much. Okay, it's been a fun time right here on the AM Club. Want to say a very big thank you to everybody for making sure that this show stays numero uno. My name is Kojo Dasabre, and I'll see you same time next week. Please do have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.